All right, here we go. Grab a pen and a piece of paper because we're talking testosterone and I want you to write this stuff down. You're getting it straight from the horse's mouth, guys. Write it down. I have 30 years experience. If it comes out of this mouth, you better believe it's the truth. All right? While you grab a pen and a piece of paper, I'm going to tell you a story. Kind of inform you of who I am, where I come from, and why I have the knowledge that I have. So when I'm 20 years old, I'm training up in New York with two other guys, Johnny Mulligan and Tori, best friends. We're all 20 years old. We're all 100% natural other than the testosterone given to us at birth. And we're all discussing getting on the juice, getting on gear. And so we talked to one of the gurus in the gym at the time. And he says, well, before you guys hop on gear, you should go have your testosterone levels checked with a doctor. Just so you guys know what your natural levels are before you start enhancing. So we do. We go to the sports doctor that he recommends, and the three of us have our testosterone levels checked through blood work. Now, Johnny Mulligan was bigger than me. Johnny was leaner than me. I was bigger than Tori. Tori was smaller and held more body fat than myself and Johnny. And when we finally got our blood work back, we figured out why. Johnny naturally was producing almost 1,300 score testosterone. I scored an 1,100, just a hair over. Tori was only producing 670. That was Tori's number. So you have three guys, all training for a bodybuilding competition, all 20 years old, yet each one of us at birth was given different testosterone production, different testosterone levels, which means, why was Tori not as big as me? Why was Tori holding more body fat than me? Because Tori was producing less testosterone than I was. Why was Johnny bigger than me? Because Johnny was producing more testosterone than I was. I was the guy right in the middle, okay? So that right there tells you could have 20 guys lined up, all the same freaking age. They all look different. Why do they all look different? Why do they all act different? Why are their energy levels all different? Because at birth, we're all given a different testosterone production. Now, what does that mean for Tori? Tori had the lowest testosterone. You want to know what that means? That means at 670, when you're only 20 years old, that means by the time Tori is 40 years old, Tori's going to have the testosterone levels of a 12-year-old girl, probably, because every year it just diminishes. It gets lower and lower and lower. You produce less and less and less. And I'm still friends with Tori. And Tori is severely out of shape. Tori has injury after injury after injury. Tori is constantly battling depression. He's constantly fighting issues in life. Because Tori, unlike myself, decided to play around with anabolics, but not stay on them the rest of his life. You see, I decided, once I started testosterone, that I'd stay on it the rest of my life. And that was some of the advice I was given when I was a 20-year-old bodybuilder. That if you're going to compete in bodybuilding, you're going to have to do these anabolics. But then the older you get, you're going to need to stay on testosterone. And the main reason being, do you want to suffer through life and let your body unravel at its God-given pace and go through those ruts of having lower and lower and lower testosterone after you've experienced having such high testosterone? Okay, and that's what I decided I wasn't going to do. I did not want to be like the average man and just succumb to life. Because after I turned 21, I started taking anabolics. Okay? Started taking testosterone, started taking equipoise, started taking a lot of stuff. Competed in bodybuilding. How do you think I looked like that? I took a ton of stuff. And you see, when I finally exited bodybuilding, that was in 2012. That was about 10 years ago. But prior to that, I was still regularly on testosterone. In 2004, I went to my doctor and I said, Doc, I don't ever want to be average. And I know right now if I were to come off testosterone, I would probably feel like a 12-year-old little bitch. And I said, I don't ever want to succumb to feeling the downside of having lower testosterone. So what can I do? And luckily my doctor told me, you're going to stay on testosterone the rest of your life. That's what you're going to do. And I had already known that there weren't all the bullshit side effects that, all the ignorant people want you to believe, because I'd already been on a ton and nothing happened to me. I was on a ton here. I'm on the stuff that kills horses, supposedly, in this picture right here. Yet how am I still alive 10 years later? Explain it to me if it kills you. It's because I did it right. There's a right way and a wrong way to take anabolics, just like there's a right way and a wrong way to take aspirin or anything else. You do realize if you take aspirin, a 325 milligram aspirin, every day on an empty stomach for 1 year, it'll kill you. It'll eat an ulcer right through your stomach, a bleeding ulcer right through your stomach. You realize that? Yeah. But you know what's funny? If I was on testosterone, or I looked like that, and I was taking the aspirin every day and letting the aspirin eat through my stomach, and I died from the bleeding ulcer because I was bleeding internally, everybody would be like, oh, the steroids killed him. Look at all the gear he was on. The steroids killed him. No, that frickin' aspirin killed him. The steroids didn't kill him. All right, so let's debunk that. Here's what happens when you take anabolics. Here's what happens when you take testosterone. First of all, I'm going to talk all the positives. Just remember when you're 20 years old, your sex drive, your focus, the energy, the body mass, as far as leanness, lean body mass that you're able to carry, muscle structure, fat loss, everything, every function in your body, okay, was being affected by that amount of testosterone that your body was producing. Life was amazing, wasn't it? Oh, it was freaking beautiful. But then as you get older, it all starts to change. And you know what? You can go to the doctor and you can tell the doctor, you're 40 years old and you say, hey, doc, I feel like total utter shit. My wife wants to leave me. I'm suicidal. I'm getting fat. I have no energy. I'm going to get fired. And you know what your doctor's going to do? Your doctor's going to be like, oh, here's some Wellbutrin. Here's some antidepressants. Take that. Doc, my testosterone levels are low. Check my testosterone. Come on, man, I'm out of gas. He'll check your testosterone. He'll be like, and your testosterone levels will be like 200. And your doctor's going to be like, nah, sorry, they're just not low enough. Yeah, if you're going to commit suicide, I guess you're just going to have to commit suicide, buddy. Here's some Wellbutrin. Here's some antidepressants. You see, that's why I control my own testosterone. That's why I will never succumb to the idiocy and the dumb fools in the medical industry that try to tell you that it's everything but the testosterone. You know what I'm saying? Because the bottom line is, no. It's the testosterone levels that are leaving your body as you get older that screw you up. All right? I will never have to deal with it. I have a gorgeous wife. Our sex life is the same as it would have been when I was 21 freaking years old. My mental focus, my drive, my energy, the elasticity to my skin, my muscularity, everything. My lean body mass, okay? My metabolism is all still of what it was when I was in my 20s. Why? Because I'm on testosterone, and I will be on till the day I die. That is why. Now, how can I be on testosterone till the day I die if it kills you? Explain that. Well, how does it kill you? This is how, if you didn't pay attention to what you were doing, testosterone or any anabolics, just like the aspirin, if you're not paying attention, will kill you. Testosterone does two things mainly, okay? Two things. It raises your LDL cholesterol when you begin injecting it. No different than eating a frickin' cheeseburger, actually. The same way the cheeseburger is going to raise your LDL cholesterol, testosterone raises your LDL cholesterol. That cheeseburger killed you, buddy. Sure did. So what do? Well, realizing that LDL cholesterol is what creates plaque in the bloodstream, okay? And you create blood clots, clogging of the arteries, heart attack, stroke. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you keep your LDL cholesterol in check. All right? Very easy to do. You see this lemon drink right here? That lemon drink keeps my LDL cholesterol in check. But I have my blood work done every 90 days to make sure that this is still working. And when the day comes that that doesn't work, I'll go on a statin if I have to. But right now, that's working. That's doing the trick. Second, it increases your red blood cell count. Testosterone increases red blood cell, which means if you get up into the 20 count, the 21, it's very dangerous because your blood is running too thick. All right? You have the hemoglobin is so thick that your body's having a hard time transporting blood throughout the circulatory system. Therefore, you should donate blood every 90 days. That's it. All right? So 1, the LDL we have to get under control. 2, you just got to donate blood every 90 days. Because when you donate blood, it drops your red blood cell count. It's like changing your oil. All right? It thins out the hemoglobin. The blood is just rushing through the vasculatory system again. Everything's perfect. All right? So those are the two main. Now, what happens if you don't take care of those? You want to know what happens? You're going to die you could have a stroke with the LDL. You have heart attack because of the blood clotting, okay? And this one right here, if the blood is transporting too heavily and the heart is having to work much harder, the heart cannot pump this blood anymore because the blood is so freaking thick. The heart is working so freaking hard that the heart begins to enlarge. When the heart enlarges to the point to where it can no longer tolerate the stress, you have a heart attack. It could be a mild heart attack or it could be a massive heart attack. Why did you have the heart attack? Because you weren't donating blood, you fool. Why would you take testosterone and not donate blood? Duh. Why would you take an aspirin and not eat a frickin' sandwich? Why would you take an aspirin on an empty stomach and risk a bleeding ulcer? Risk bleeding internally. To me, it's the same mentality. Why would you take testosterone and not donate frickin' blood? Why would you take testosterone and not keep your LDL under control? Because if you do, guess what? You'll live happily ever after. You feel amazing. Your wife doesn't want to leave you. You don't want to commit suicide. You got great muscle mass. You got amazing energy. You got amazing focus. Why? Because you went on testosterone replacement therapy and you refused to allow life to compress you. Because life will compress you. You are designed to just wilter away. You're designed to fade away. Okay? When you get into your 40s, that's when you really feel it. Did I feel it in my 40s? Nope. Did I feel it in my 30s? Nope. Never felt it. Never had to deal with it. When I get my testosterone levels checked today, right now, they're usually about 1,800. Imagine how I must feel every day. I'm running around in better condition than when I was natural at 20. And my body's handling it because I'm not abusing it. I'm just taking enough to make sure I have an advantage in life. My doctor is prescribing me enough to make sure that I have this advantage, that I do not succumb to age. Okay? Now, how do you get your doctor to prescribe testosterone? First of all, you have to go to either a sports medicine doctor or an internal medicine doctor. They are in tune. They're the smartest. They're the best. Bottom line. Your testosterone has to reach a very low level because doctors don't want to screw around with testosterone because they think you're ignorant and you're going to get hurt with it. You see, you just listened to what I said. I told you about the LDL cholesterol, the two big ones. And I told you about the red blood cell count, which also leads to high blood pressure, by the way. If you don't keep those two in check, you will immediately get high blood pressure. High blood pressure is the third, okay? But it's a result of not keeping the other two in order. And of course, high blood pressure leads to what? A heart attack. That's why every time you hear somebody taking steroids, they die of a heart attack. Ain't that something? I just told you how to not die of a freaking heart attack. It's pretty damn easy, isn't it? Pretty damn freaking easy. All these punks running around. Look, when I was 20 years old, I'd hear these punks being like, "Oh, he looks like that because he's on steroids. He's on testosterone." Yeah, I was. God gave me an 1100 score. I was. So are you. So are all your freaking buddies. Hey, so is my wife. My wife, 74 testosterone. All right? So let's get into this for a minute. All men are born with testosterone unless you have a disease. All women are born with testosterone unless they have a disease. All men are born with estrogen unless you have a disease. All women are born with estrogen unless they have a disease. Women are born with higher amounts of estrogen, lower testosterone. Men are born with higher testosterone, lower estrogen. But we all have both. When your testosterone begins to plummet, your estrogen begins to raise because your body still needs hormones. Your body's like, well, we have to produce more hormone, and the testosterone's going down. It's so much easier for estrogen production. Plus, your body needs the estrogen for cholesterol and other maintenance in the body. So guess what happens? You begin turning into a little bitch. You begin turning into a female. Why do you think you start storing so much body fat and you get depressed? Why do you think your wife stores more body fat than you and she's always emotional? Because of estrogen. So your estrogen levels begin going up. Your estrogen levels could be equal to what your wife's are right now. What do you think of that? Go have them checked and compare your estrogen levels to your wife. If you're in your 40s, your 50s, 30s, whatever. Check it out. What I'm telling you is true. All right. So you go to the doctor. Doctor tests you. And the doctor says, well, you're just not low enough. Yep, you're not low enough, man. Come back when you're lower. Here's some antidepressants for you. Try not to hang yourself. So what do? Well, this is what I did. I'm going to be straight with you. I'm going to tell it to you as straight as I can. When I first went to the doctor and my levels weren't low enough, I knew that if I went on a substance called decadurabalin, there's several different ways to pronounce it. It's basically called Deca. The Deca would immediately lower my testosterone levels. So what I had to do was I had to go to another doctor, a doctor that was a little more forgiving, to get me decadurabalin prescribed to me. I got the Deca prescribed to me through kicking and screaming, but I got it prescribed to me. I started the Deca. I went on 12 weeks of injecting this Deca because I knew the Deca would plummet my testosterone, but the Deca is a hormone, so it would make me feel freaking amazing. I wouldn't even know my testosterone levels were plummeting because the Deca is a hormone and it's an anabolic, so I'd be getting muscle mass, I'd feel great, and not experience any of the downside of the testosterone plummeting. And so I did that for 12 weeks. And when I went to go have my testosterone checked again with the same doctor, the doctor comes back to me and he goes, whoa. He goes, you have the testosterone of a 10-year-old girl. He goes, we need to get you on testosterone. And there you go. That was in 2004, folks. And in 2004 was the year I got my first prescription for testosterone by doing what I told you. I had to take Deca to suppress my own testosterone, and therefore the doctor finally prescribed it. And just so you know, my test was about 70. It was rough. I forget. It was like 68 or 70, somewhere around there. My natural test when he finally prescribed me TRT. And I've been on it ever frickin' since. Ever since 2004, I've never come off. I take a shot every single week. Every 7 days, I take a TRT, a testosterone replacement therapy shot. From my doctor, I have a prescription for it, and I'm going to do it till the day I die. And that's why I keep my cholesterol in check. That's why I keep my blood pressure in check. Keep my red blood cell in check. so that I don't have to worry about it. All I see are the benefits of the testosterone because I'm my own doctor. I'm doing everything else internally I need to do to stay healthy. Okay? So there it is. Testosterone will keep you at 21 till the day you freaking die. And I will never come off it. I will never feel like you. Never. I talk to people like you that are suffering and going through the depression, the fat. I talk to people and I say, man, I've never gone through it. I never will go through it. And here's what you should have done 20 freaking years ago. It's not too late. Go ahead and get started now. Now listen, guys, if you need more information than that, because there is a lot more that I didn't talk about, but I could talk for hours about testosterone. The best thing to do to go beyond this is I am a coach, I am a guru, and you can hire me. If you just go on officialdogewarrior.com, you hit hire Teddy Zane, it is $150. Okay, but with that $150, you get to call me on the phone, and we will talk for up to an hour, and then we will keep in touch through texting and through phone calls, and I will help you with your doctor get on hormone replacement therapy. If you don't think you can do it yourself, hire me, and you and I will do it together. All right? All right, everybody. I hope you wrote a lot of that down. That is very valuable information that came directly from the horse's freaking mouth that's been doing this shit for 30 freaking years. All right. Y'all have an awesome afternoon. Doge Warrior out, baby. Shaboom. Peace.